Hello everyone and welcome back to more When the Night Comes! Yes, we are back! Yay! The game developers have updated to Chapter 6! Yes! Just this Sunday we are back for more of this game. I'm super excited. As you can probably tell from the screen here, the last time we left off it was a cliffhanger! Oh my god! So basically, we went down to the dungeons in the last episode. That was like the main big focus of the chapter. So we gathered our crew, we executed our plan. It was Piper who joined us down into the dungeons while everybody else sort of like kept watch and allowed us to pass by undetected. So we made it down to the dungeons. We see a bunch of creatures being held up in cells, but we were like, we didn't find the person that we were looking for, which is, I believe, the girl Aya? Was that her name? Aya? I always keep forgetting her name. But anyways, we didn't end up finding the hunter that was supposedly, supposed to be down in the dungeons, and she was locked up for no goddamn reason. No good reason, actually. So, and also as well, we were trying to look for Finn's coven friend, like Fiyero. Yes, so we were looking for him as well too. We were keeping an eye out for them. But eventually we found Fiyero in one of the holding cells, and we're like, holy shit, you're alive, thank God, thank goodness, because Finn is worried about you. But then, we started questioning him, and he's like, oh, they framed me, and they said that I attacked a hunter out of whatever, he attacked the hunter, he drained, he bit them kind of thing, but it's it wasn't true. He was framed by it because what actually happened was is that he went off to go check out this this disturbance in the woods, and it was someone in distress, and he went to go by himself because he didn't think it was a big deal. But instead, when he went to go search, find the person who was in distress, everybody started to all these random hunters and all these random enforcers surrounded him, and wrote up a report saying that he was the one who actually attacked this enforcer hunter person, and when it wasn't the case, he just stumbled upon them and he wanted to help. So they threw him in jail, and then they in his stay there, he told us that he was they didn't mistreat him. The most part was is that they were starving him. So they didn't let him feed, and as well as they were taking his blood. And we were like, oh my god, that is just so hella shady, because I keep telling you that it's something to do with human experimentation. They're just running this little secret, little show down here. And so we were super sketched out. We were like, okay, we're gonna promise to get you out as soon as we can. Once we're done searching here, we'll come back for you. So we tried searching, but then again, we couldn't find the cell that had the hunters in, the arrested hunters. So we went to go search around the desk area, and we found all these shady documents about how the hunters were checked into their cells, but they were never checked out, I think, or no, I don't know. They were in the cells, they were taken out of their cells, but they never came back. That's the thing. And we were like, that's super hella shady. That's this is so hella suspicious. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but we don't like it. So before we can really, do more, ponder more about it, there's guards that were coming down. We had to obviously make a quick exit. We took the documents with us, and we made our escape to meet up with Finn out in the forest. So we told Finn, we didn't exactly tell Finn what the details. We just told him that yes, we found Fiyero, the guy you're looking for, as well as we've got our answers. There's some hella shady business going on down there. So Finn told us to, run off because we look hella suspicious just gathered around here in the forest. And so we went off and we met up with Alkar. Alkar took us back to his little hideout where Omen was staying. We had a little bit of chat. We had a little bit of downtime where we just talked and stuff. And then to pass the time to be sure that it's safe to go out again. So we go out again afterwards, and then we went back to Ezra's shop, and then we met Finn there as well, and they were sort of really they were having a heated argument sort of. But anyways, regardless, we eventually ended up going into a relationship with both Finn and Ezra. Hey, that was good, that was great. So we did that. They walked us home to our little inn, and then we had a little cuddly moment, little fluffy moment, and we were gonna say goodnight to each other, and then that was it. But until this girl Aurora shows up all beaten and battered, and she's just like, oh my god, I kinda need your help. So that's where we are, that's where we last left off. So let's get started, and I'm super excited, so let's go. End of chapter 5, there we go. So yes, the next part is chapter 6, It Will Come Back. Oh, well, I thought it was already here, so Okay, let's just go for it. Let's just go. Hunter Lee, yes. I think I may require your assistance. Yes, I know. As soon as the initial shock has faded, Ezra is at her side in a flash, and Finn tenses beside me. Aurora and Ezra exchange a look, and she nods her permission when his fingertips glow a pale green. I reach out to touch Finn's forearm, and he visibly relaxes, but his hands are still balled into fists at his side. So, are we all just gonna go on a trip? Going on a trip to find the beast? Who did this to you? More like, what did this to me? Yes, you are correct. Aurora hisses when Ezra places his hands upon her bleeding forearm, and he withdraws his touch with a sorry smile. Apologies, yeah. She gently swats him away, not entirely ungrateful in his care. It's fine, it's just a scratch. 'Tis but a scratch. Finn's nostrils flare as Ezra guides her towards the bed, helping her settle upon the mattress. We can't keep her here. If anyone calls the enforcers, you won't look too good tending to a bleeding cultist. Though she's in no position to be snarky, Aurora still manages to smirk at Finn's comment. Working against your precious puppet masters, are we? Okay, girl, we get it. You were right. Okay, you were right all along. That we were being played. Okay, we get it. Like, don't rub it in our faces. And both you and the witch are all tucked away in your quarters with a big, mean vampire of all things. Hey. I don't judge you and your furry ways, okay? You might be more interesting than I initially thought, Hunter Lee. Watch your tongue, Woodridge. Finn, tell us what happened, Aurora. I encountered a little trouble on my evening walk, okay? Finn snorts, earning another glare from Ezra. My lips twitch, but I manage to stifle my smile. Do you have a cold, vampire? I do not. Please, continue. Yeah. I ignore their little exchange, guessing that Finn knows a lot more about her than I care to find out. Well, when you say trouble, yeah. A creature, the one that's been giving you hunters some actual work to do. Yeah, figured. Finn lets out a pained groan, running his iron hand over his face before stepping closer to me. He takes me by my arm and leans in to press his lips to my ears. You really should take her elsewhere. I guarantee Willenheim will want to hear what horrible little things she's been up to. But where am I supposed to take her? I look at Ezra and he nods, agreeing wholeheartedly with Finn apparently. That would be wise. Okay. The last time I encountered it, it was receptive to my visit, but this time not so much, as you can see. I was just trying to help it. Wait, the last time? She shrugs, uncaring, as if it's the most obvious thing in the world that she'd be comfortable around the thing that's been murdering my colleagues. Necrozet. When's the wedding? Finnegan! I know! Finn, stop! I nudge him with my elbow at the exact same time that Ezra thwacks him on the back. I try very hard not to laugh, and Finn notices, which makes him far too smug. Ugh, stop that. I came here for assistance, not a show. Aurora hums quietly, apparently thinking about something that amuses her. You've always been weak for humans, haven't you, Casimir? Hey now. Leave my second hubby alone. Ignore her, put her in her place. Hey, yes, hey now. We're here to try to help you, girl. Not here to be a little snarky. Okay, let's just go, yeah. Let's just overwrite these saves. Put her in her place. Aurora is a little too familiar for my liking, especially after revealing what she just has. I should arrest you for being in contempt of the agency. Consider your words before you speak. Yes, she bristles, but she seems strangely impressed by my authoritative tone. Yes. Very well. I ain't no pushover. Finn looks at me, his eyes dark, if not a little curious, as Aurora steadies herself and heads for the door. He leans in, his voice low. Nice work, General. Thank you. I playfully swat him away while Ezra watches us with a fond look, and Finn's answering laugh has Aurora glaring daggers at us. Having him around doesn't do much for my professionalism, apparently, but Ezra is here to help put him in his place, yeah. How are we going to get her past the tavern full of people? Wait, how did she even get here in the first place? Did she climb through a window? Like what? Finn crinkles his nose at her, sniffing the air. She's very bloody, isn't she? Not exactly subtle. Then he grins at Ezra, and the witch smiles wide in return. Something tells me they've got it covered. Okay, leave it to us. Okay, I gently take hold of Aurora's arm, assuming she's not a flight risk, but taking precautions regardless. See you both later. We'll be counting down the seconds, Hunter. Okay. Okay, I will too then. Okay, so where is this? So after an apparently successful exercise in distraction back in the Wolf, I rush Aurora across town to August's rather impressive abode without further incident. They stand in the doorway and stare at her with a crinkled nose. Oh, I didn't think we would actually bring her here. Wow, okay. I'd say that it's nice to see you, but no. Can we come in, please? I meet their gaze, trying to convey the urgency. Just don't get blood on the sofa, please. Yes, noted. I take in my surroundings, and this home couldn't possibly be owned by anyone other than Augustus Willenheim. This is beautiful, August. Yeah, you have very nice taste in furniture. Thank you. It's nice having my own little sanctuary, though I don't spend as much time as I would like. Though I don't spend much time here as I would like. Now, do take a seat and explain exactly what you've been up to, Miss Woodridge, in detail. Aurora obliges, crossing her legs, smoothing the rumpled, dirty fabric of her skirt. She appears to have been making friends with the thing that's been hunting. She appears to have been making friends with the thing that we're hunting. As you can see, it didn't accept her peace offering tonight. August tenses, their anger obvious, but they refrain from any outbursts. I take a seat beside them as they watch her. They're clearly appreciative of her attempt to collect herself, but perceptive that none of her filth make contact with their home. Okay, cool. Firstly, in the interest of protecting myself, I want you to assure me that what I say here won't be used against me. From what I gather, you're working against the enforcers, so I suppose you'd do well to agree to this condition? August looks at me for confirmation, and I shrug, knowing that she's right. We can't afford her to go to them at this point, to go to anyone but us. Yeah. It stays between us. Yeah, good. Now, I understand that you're aware that the level of creature activity has increased here in Lunaris as of late. Enforcer Wilhelm? Yes. August nods. Yes, but Harry has done an excellent job in putting systems in place to ensure that we're on top of it. So, the number of fatalities has significantly dropped in the last year, if that's what you're getting at. Aurora hums, contemplating this statement with a tilt of her head. Lunaris had the lowest mortality rate of any town in the whole of Escria until very recently. Did you know that? Oh, yes, well, yeah, because of this creature. They shift uncomfortably in their seat, avoiding eye contact with the both of us. She's playing a game, almost mocking. Augustus' obvious intelligence, I presume. Yeah. Of course I was aware of that, yes. Don't you think that's awfully strange, that all of a sudden one of the most peaceful areas would turn into the epicenter of creature activity? May I ask? That one day they began descending upon us in droves, stronger and faster than before. Did no one in your agency investigate a potential cause? I look at them again, assessing their reaction, my interest piqued. Lunaris was never on my radar before I was called here. I only knew of its existence because of Harry and James's notoriety. So I certainly didn't know this, yeah. Escria is made up of cities and towns far larger than Lunaris, so for Aurora to claim that this sleepy little place is the hotspot for creature activity is beyond alarming, yeah. August? Are you hiding something? A deep breath, and August finally responds. I am aware that there was an investigation, but that nothing was found. We chalked it up to the simple fact that we aren't doing a good enough job of eliminating the creature as a country. The creatures as a country. As a county. Country? Did I say county or country? County, whatever. That they're multiplying at a rate far quicker than we and everyone else can effectively handle. Yeah, either way. Suddenly there is a boom in population of creatures. Another quiet hum, and I gather that she's simply testing them. Aurora knows a lot more than she's letting on, clearly, and it brings back a touch of her knowing resolve. So why in the last year has that magically gotten better? Until these recent murders began, Lunaris was relatively peaceful again, wouldn't you say? Not as peaceful as before, but an improvement was seen, yes. So I'm no wiser than you, really, Enforcer, but I do know that the thing committing these murders is no ordinary creature. Yeah, I had a first-hand experience in that. And I know that the method in which your precious leader has used to fix the problem is an unsavory one. But something isn't right here in Lunaris. Something is drawing them here, and whatever that something is, it's making them stronger. So are you insinuating that in order to control the whole booming population and creatures that the Enforcers secretly sent out like their own little weapon? Not mechanized weapon, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm getting at is that, you know, they made their own creature to combat the other creatures, but then their creature got out of hand and is now murdering all the hunters and all the Enforcers here, you know, in a way of like turning against them. You know? I'm just saying that's what happened. I'm just saying. What happened last night? How do you know all of this? Oh, we gotta save this, yeah. I'ma save this. Boop, right here. Okay, I hope we can ask all of these questions. Oh yeah, both of these questions. So how do you know all this? I look at Aurora, taking note of her confidence, of her poise. It's impressive, but I can't help but wonder how the hell she knows all of this information she's just unloaded on us. You know an awful lot about the Enforcers, even more than us, apparently. How? Yes, how indeed. She shrugs, nonchalant, not quite getting the gravity of the situation I feel. People talk, do they? To the twins that alienate everyone by telling them they deserve to get gobbled up by monsters for daring to be afraid? Sounds unlikely. Believe it or not, there are people in this sad little town that are more afraid of the Enforcers and your hunter pets than they are of the monsters. They see you talking to the things that lurk in the catacombs, the vampires, the lichen, the demon. They may smile and seem friendly, but they are just as much of an untamed creature as the ones that lurk in the woods that you don't allow to drink in the tavern or sleep in your beds. Okay, that's very vague of you to say, but alright. What happened last night? Tell us what happened last night? How did you find the creature? Yes, Aurora daintily clasped her hands in her lap, taking her time to respond. I often check the graveyard and the forest surrounding the attac before I sleep. I like to know that there's no creature out there that may need my help. You have Lux for that. Does she not? You have Lux for that. Does she not do her job sufficiently enough? Who the fuck is Lux? Oh, Lux is an incredible guard, but she doesn't care for creatures in the way that I do. She simply serves to protect us, not them. Why do you require a night guard exactly? Before Aurora can speak, August pipes up. Because we were fed up with them calling in problems and using up our limited resources. The only real issues they ever had were some angry townsfolk with a kitchen knife. Oh, okay. If you hadn't already noticed, the attac aren't exactly popular around here, so we assigned Lux as an unofficial guard to keep watch. Anyway, as I was saying, I did my usual nightly check, and I heard something in distress in the forest. I found a creature, the creature, a ghastly-looking thing, but it was crying. Aw, crying. August lets out a tiny burst of laughter, quickly covering their mouth once the sound has escaped. Oh, I cannot explain, but that's what it sounded like, hunched over against a tree trunk, clutching the bark, just wailing. I approached it simply ignored me and retreated into the forest. But what? She holds out her arm, the gash is deep and angry. As you can see, it wasn't so uninterested in me this time. It attacked me, pinned me to the ground. I only escaped because it heard something and scurried off. Oh, shit. I look at August and they're pinching the bridge of their nose, eyes closed. Yes, it's a very big headache. I watch as August rises and walks to stand in front of the fire. Aurora hasn't taken her eyes off of me, her expression inscrutable. You need to see a healer. Yeah. She shrugs, uncaring, sparing her bleeding arm a fleeting glance. Like I said, it's just a scratch. She's right. You don't know what that thing is, and you're unsettling enough without suddenly sprouting horns. You should seek out Ezra. At least we know he'll be discreet. She stands and quickly heads for the door, as if the moment to leave this place couldn't have come sooner. Before she reaches for the handle, wait, what? Yes. Don't forget this kindness we've shown you here tonight. We could have thrown you in the dungeons for what you've been withholding, but I'd rather not see someone else disappear. Though our beliefs may differ, we are here to protect you. I stand to join them, a show of solidarity in that promise, if you will. Aurora may not believe their words, but their purpose has and always been to protect everyone. Stay out of the woods, Aurora. Creatures like this are not something you play house with. Make no mistake, this is something you cannot feel sympathy for. It's killed mindlessly, unprompted. She smiles, and for the first time it seems genuine, if not a little reserved. I'll come straight to you if I see it again, and thank you. Cool. Finally, in the comfort of privacy, I offer August a sympathetic look as they turn to face me. They look as tired as I feel. I'm sorry that I brought her here. Yeah. You did the right thing, though. Do not apologize. You did the right thing. Do not apologize. Yeah. They take a seat, sinking deeply into the cushions with a grateful groan. Is it bad that I remain unfazed by such conversations, not knowing a bloody thing has become the norm? Not knowing a bloody thing has become the norm, apparently. Yes. This town is infested with secrets. I can't wait until all this is over. Same. If it ever will be. How am I supposed to do my job and protect the people when I'm left so in the dark? I know, I feel you. You care enough to keep trying, and that's all that matters. The people of Lunaris are lucky to have you, August. Right? Thank you, Hana. You're so dedicated! It'll be the morning soon, yeah. A heavy sigh, and August huffs a laugh, curling their legs up beneath them. Yet another night of no rest. What's new in this town, Aw, you should really try to sleep, though. I suppose I'd better try and get an hour or two of sleep. Yeah, you should. I'll head back to the wolf and attempt to do the same. We'll reconvene tomorrow. Sleep well, Hunter. Okay. Ugh! Sleep! Where are we? I wake barely refreshed, but with an inkling. What? A gut feeling, funnily enough. Really. So the Ibeck is more desolate than I remember, if such a thing is possible. The doors open easily enough even though there isn't anyone there to greet me, and the chapel within has only pockets of sunlight where it streams through the cracked, decrepit windows. The rest is drowned in shadows. Shadows that I know are safe, and my instincts warn of nothing else save the two bright presences perched atop the dais at the far end of the room. And as they're here, I feel I don't need to worry about my own safety. Strange that two demonic entities of the highest class there exist. What? Strange that two demonic entities of the highest class there exist to classify them. I, a hunter alone in this abandoned temple, like the plot of some corny horror novel, and yet I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Is it the siblings? Yeah. Elaine and Omen's conversation peters out as I close the door behind me and approach them. The way they tilt their heads in perfect synchronicity reminds me eerily of the Woodridge twins, but their expressions are quick to change to big, similar grins. Hana, I didn't expect you here. He slides off the dais and comes down to meet me. I incline my head to him in greeting, but my eyes are on the young woman who looks remarkably like him, remarkably like his choice of glamour, who remains seated. She stares back at me and smiles, bright and soft, and raises her hand in a small wave. Yes, hello. It is good to see you well. It is good to see you well, Elaine. Elaine beams at that, clapping her hands together. Oh, it's good to see you too. I'm sorry the last time we met, things were so messy. Yeah, no worries. With a small oof, Elaine pushes herself off the dais and approaches me as well, and my second, I suppose, impression of her is that she isn't far cheerier and much less cautious than Omen. She's far cheerier and much less cautious than Omen. There's a spring in her step even as she strides, eating up the distance between us with wide, confident steps. She sketches a curtsy for me, and when I try to return it with a bow, giggles. Thank you. I was hoping I would see you again. We both did. I heard something happened with Aurora? Yes. Yes, our Morris looked so worried. Aw. She picks anxiously at the cuff of her sleeves as she mentions him. My eyes are drawn to the movement. Omen's eyes are drawn to the movement. Okay, my eyes are drawn to the movement. Omen's eyes are drawn to the movement. And is that my imagination, or is that a tiny crease between his eyes? Why? What? Does he not like Amoris? Maybe not. Before things can get awkward, however, I clear my throat. Then an idea strikes me. I have a question, actually, for the both of you. Identical brown eyes blink at me. They really are twins, aren't they? Even if not human ones. When we were speaking with Aurora yesterday night, she mentioned something. It seems in the past few years, supernatural activity has been at an all-time high. August figured it was only because they were worsening faster than the enforcers, and our hunters could control them, but we have our doubts. And I know instantly I was correct to doubt, as the very air seems to change. Omen sucks in a deep breath, his hand going to clutch at the back of his neck, eyes averted. Elaine purses her lips and clasps her hands in front of her, but she keeps her gaze on me. For a moment, she's no longer a soft-eyed young woman with large teeth and a pretty smile. For a fraction of that moment, I perceive her as the thing behind these human details. Something old and seething and immense gazes at me through those eyes. The pressure near crushes my lungs with the force of her presence. Then dissipates so fast that I could be convinced I was imagining it. And it's because Omen's hand is on her shoulder. No, it's fine. Hana isn't trying to... He trails off. Elaine pats his hand, but slides it off and turns to face me fully. The smile is back, if just a little sharper than before, and she raises a hand. I almost flinch, but all she does is point at my weapon. Can you please remove your hand from that? Oh, that's a lot to ask of me. After that, yeah. Elaine inclines her head. You have a point, I suppose, but all the same, it will do you no good here. She's right. Galling that she would point it out so matter-of-factly, but even as I reluctantly tear my fingers from my weapon, the answer I was seeking strikes me. It was you, wasn't it? You're the reason for the increase in paranormal activity around Lunaris. It isn't her fault, but mine. Oh, Omen's still rubbing the back of his neck as though worrying an old scar. When he meets my gaze, his aura is dimmed, sad. Omen? Yeah. Some mortal years ago, I had an argument with my father. He pauses, mouth moving without sound. Elaine shifts on her feet, where I watch her from the corner of my eye, but she doesn't move. Her presence is once again extinguished, tightly under control. It ended in my departure to your realm. He was unhappy with me leaving and tried to prevent my attempt to cross over. I had to go into hiding, more or less. In the journey betwixt, it's possible I might have damaged the boundaries between our worlds, here in this town. Ah, okay, so it's almost like when he crossed over, it's like he almost like left the door open. Oh. And your father, he isn't planning to make the trip across to get you back, is he? No. The thought leaves me cold as much as it makes me want to stare at the ceiling and wonder out loud what exactly this town has done that caused so many fucking problems to become attracted to it like flies to a bloated corpse. That would just be the thing we need, wouldn't it? Lucifer himself coming through to give us another slap on the ass. Yes. No, he cannot wander so far, as far as us, and Omen took, measures to stop us from finding him. She gives Omen a look, but he purposefully ignores her. Mine are on the hands he is still using to rub the back of his neck. I had assumed it was a nervous habit, but now that I am paying close attention, I could see something that looks like it might be a scar sneaking out from under his collar. It's difficult to spot, though, and as if thinking the same thing, Omen yanks the collar up to further hide it. Yeah. Elaine presses close to his side, their shoulders touching, their tails intertwined briefly, almost a hand squeezed gesture of its own, before she leans away again and looks at me. We apologize for the danger we have brought to this place. It isn't me you should be apologizing to, I think. Omen gives me a pained look, but inclines his head. Yes, you're right. I did not know the boundaries would have been so badly affected by my crossing. By all means, destroying the markings that allow my father to seek me out should have been enough. I had also hoped the boundaries would heal on their own, as they do. Likely they are, but too slowly. Perhaps... He trails off, looking at something behind my shoulder. I turn to follow his eyes. Morris Woodridge stares at us from where he's been half peeking from the front door. His eyes widen like a cornered rabbit when he realizes we've noticed, but before I can even open my mouth to reassure him, Elaine makes a gleeful little noise and runs to Morris. Aw, they're so cute. Omen snorts, the sound almost a laugh. I was almost afraid that you don't like him. He kept the news of Elaine's arrival from me. That should be enough for me to resent him. He says that, but his eyes are soft as we look on. Elaine is holding Morris's hands now, who looks remarkably less afraid, and whatever they are talking about is too low for me to hear, but I see him smile brightly. I see her smile too, and her tail curls affectionately around his waist. Aww. They make their way back over to us. Morris are eyeing me warily. Hello. I nod at Armoris when he glances at me again. The way he seems to jump a little before smiling back is almost amusing. Have you come to fetch me, or have you come to fetch Elaine? Yes. Neither, actually. I've come to tell you that Aurora will soon be here, so I wanted to... He trails off uncertainly, probably not that sure about betraying his sister's view on things yet, and I'm not sure how much of that I can sympathize with. But after the mess yesterday night, I'm nothing if not glad I wouldn't have to see that woman again just yet. Right. I have a feeling she would have something galling to say about this whole business that I should also make a report on. I scratch my head thinking about what exactly will go on the mission report. What? I scratch my head thinking about what exactly will go on the mission report for this entire mess. There we go. God. Just doing so is already causing me a soul-deep pain. Yes, but later. Yeah, we'll worry about that later. When I've actually gotten a chance to unpack everything. Yes, exactly. I need to go find Alkar at any rate. Oh, that would be a good idea. Make sure he stays out of trouble and all. Not that I say as much. I have a feeling that that is exactly what. Why am I having trouble reading? God damn it. Make sure he stays out of trouble and all. Not that I say as much. I have a feeling that is the exact thought going through Omen's mind at any rate, the way he tugs pensively at his sleeve. How much of this is practice, I wonder? Human habits, human emotions, human tells. Enough that it seems subconscious by now, or perhaps not? Perhaps they are all real, given how alike Elaine was to him. But the smile Omen gives me is sincere, not in the expression on his face, but in the gratitude and friendship I can sense from him. I hope I'll see you later, Hana. Yes, I'm sure we will. You will. He hums in agreement, reaches for me as though he wants to put his hand on my shoulder, but seems to think better of it at the last moment and turns it into an awkward way before walking away. Okay, alrighty. I linger for a moment longer, watching Armoris and Elaine's conversation. Armoris is smiling at something she says, and the last thing I see as I turn away from them is Elaine kissing his cheek. Aww, they're so cute. They're so cute. Anyway, the streets are dead empty when I leave. It's eerie almost, the sudden stillness, as though the town itself is instinctively aware of the wrongness it's experiencing, withdrawing into itself. I mean, I would too. It's hella shady. I wonder truly how much do people know, how much they're willing to know. From what Aurora said, it's not always been this way for Lunaris, but I find it hard to imagine this before. It must have been years ago, according to what she said at August's. But all Omen and Elaine have done is confirm that there was an increase in supernatural activity, not what the enforcers here have done to combat it. I'm telling you, they made their own creature and it got out of hand. Nor did their affirmation lend anything to ease the growing dread in me. The one that's been sitting like poison in the back of my mind since I first started snooping in August's office for Aya's records just a few weeks ago. Yes, that's her name. I was right. I'm a hunter general, but I'm a hunter in the end. I'm a hunter in the end. The enforcers, the allies, and support network at my back, they all account for much of my success and strength. How I'm to move, act, think. Yeah, how I'm to move, act, and think. And now what? If I can't even trust to hold my weight? What? I read that really weird. I'm sorry. So how I'm to move, act, think, and now what? If I can't even trust it to hold my weight? That I don't know the full truth is nothing new. That I'm only ever told enough to commit myself to the contract at hand is nothing new. But those deliberate acts of withholding information have always been passed off as an attempt to protect the hunters, and for the most part, that's been true. Not this time, though. This is the sound of bird taking flight snaps me out of my thoughts. I shake my head, blink, and look up to the sparse, twisting branches of the forest. Somehow my feet have taken me here, taken me on a path I didn't know I could remember so well, actually. And when I look down at the ground, I see the rock in which Alkar hides his cave. Yeah. He hasn't bothered to keep the trapdoor concealed, I realize as I walk around it. There the entrance is, inviting to all. Thinking about the half-lichen, I doubt that's true, but hesitantly I kneel by it and knock. A long moment passes with no response. Just as I was beginning to feel silly, it's daylight. It's daylight. He's probably in town. It suddenly swings up so fast it nearly hits me in the face. Ha! Alkar tilts his head, ears perked. His expression slowly morphs into a grin, if a tired one. Hello, well, you got a warrant? That's not what guests bring with them on a house visit, Alkar. Right? I'm just here visiting. Depends. I shift, intending to sit, since honestly, I'm not sure if he's going to let me into his house. The moment I start to, however, Alkar retreats back into the cave with a beckon. Thank you. He's already gone, and if I don't follow the trapdoor, he's going to fall on my knees, so I hastily follow him down. The latch is a little too difficult to work out, but after a moment I manage to fasten it the way I think it's supposed to be fastened. Okay. Alkar, time to interview you a little bit. By the time I get into the cave properly, which looks the same, with just a bunch of messy blankets and pillows on one of his benches, proof that he really did just wake up, Alkar is already across the room. I watch him throw firewood into a small stove and put a kettle on the boil, then settle down on a cushion that doesn't look like it's been drooled on. What brings you here, mighty hunter? Instincts. Alkar throws me a smirk. He opens an iron chest next to the stove and pulls out a jar of something dried, then joins me by the cushion. Prying the lid open, he offers me the treat. Is this dog chow? If you're a dog, everything you eat is dog chow, so are you a dog? No, mate, it's fucking candied fruits. I snort, but take out a piece. Yeah, I figured. So I'm not under arrest. Nothing's exploded in the town that I know about. You cut your feelings on something? Oh, gods no, It is then that I realize I don't know what the hell I've come to him for, really. Comfort? Going to Alkar for comfort? Not likely. Though now that I'm here, there is something I need to tell him. Alkar, the hunter you attacked, the one for whose attack you were branded, I should say, yeah. Alkar's wolf ears immediately flatten to his head. I can see his jaw clench, but he looks straight at me, red eyes sharp. Yeah? His name is Azazel. We found signs of him in the dungeons. Alkar inhales sharply, then sighs, the relief palpable, but then he raises his eyebrows. Wait, in the dungeons? The dungeons where they kept me? What did that bastard do? We don't know, but he was there, and I'm sure that he was at the very least alive when you were taken in. Yeah. Then why did they brand me? I don't know. Yeah. Alkar snorts, and this time the sound is bitter. He gets to his feet and begins to pace, tightening the bandages around his hands. I can feel his upset, the intensity of it, and under all of that, brewing resentment. I mean, I can't blame him. I'd be hella salty too. It's like they brand me for no reason. You keep using past tenses. What happened to this Azazel bloke? Well, I don't know that either, which is the problem. Alkar pauses and looks at me in disbelief. After a moment, however, he sighs and comes back to sit down again. Guess that's why you're here. To tell you, yes, yeah. Your employers sure like to keep shit hush-hush, huh, Hannah? Figured so, but damn, I know. But thanks for telling me. It's been sitting like a fucking gravestone on my mind since, well, yeah. Alkar brushes a thumb over the scar on his chest absently. Oh. Well, now I feel pretty fucking bummed out actually. Can't believe they gave me this bitch of a mark over something that's never even happened. What worth's a scar with such a stupid story behind it? I'm sorry, this shouldn't have happened. They had no right. They don't need rights. They only needed a reason and the upper hand. Yeah. What's wrong is wrong. He's right. Are you always this pessimistic? Well, what's wrong is wrong, I guess. Yes. What's wrong is wrong? He's right. Yeah, actually he's right though. But he's also what's wrong is wrong though. He's right. The bitter pessimism in Alkar's words sting, but they sting no worse than thoughts I myself have had in the past. A reason and the upper hand. That is sometimes all we need as well, isn't it? A weapon, a reason, and the upper hand. And now my weapon feels heavy at my side. And what are you going to do about all this, Hannah? I'll find the truth. That's all I can do, isn't it? No, that is what I must do now that we've come this far. And then that's all I ask too. Okay. His hands closes around my wrists. I raise my eyes from the floor to look at him, and the sheer intensity with which he stares back at me, the sheer sincerity in his eyes, almost carries the force of a blow. Thank you. Yeah, no worries, man. Like, I'm here to, do what's right. I venture deeper into the catacombs, the darkened tunnels becoming somewhat familiar to me now. Oh, we're visiting Finn. I hear a quiet laugh, and I smile to myself as a figure appears from the shadows. Ah, hello, Raven. Yes. What's cooking, good looking? Hey! Hello, Raven. May I escort you to the Lord Casimir's lair? I mean, not that you have a choice. I'm bored. I begin walking, and Raven falls into step by my side, though she walks backwards, those crimson eyes not leaving my face for even a second. Why are you bored? Sun's up, can't do much other than annoy Finn, and now you're here to do that, I assume. Yes. Then with a suggestive waggle of her brows. Or, other stuff. The kind of stuff that involves lips and hands and other appendages. Hey, I'm just fucking with you. God, I wholeheartedly approve of this union. He's happier since you came to town, Aw, him and Ezra are good people, the best people. The bestest. I'm grateful that you brought them together again. Was real sad when they parted. She sighs heavily, fluttering her lashes. And now I have 3 people to annoy. Living the dream. Me. Yes. The comment is interesting, but even more so is the floor. Raven snorts uncouthly and nudges me in the side. Can't be too coy about it. Not when you've picked them too, Anyways, I have work to do. Vampires to see, the likes. I hope the emphasis on work is a sufficient reminder, despite that the future company will be pleasant to have. She snorts again, and it's quickly becoming a familiar sound. He works too much, all of you do. Then she skids to a stop in front of me as we reach Finn's door, her hand raised. Listen, I just want you to know that we have your back. Not that Finn wouldn't have already told you that, but yeah. It's important to me that you know. The way she looks at me tells me I can believe her, that Raven is loyal to a fault, and that I'm lucky to have such allies. Aw, thank you, Raven. I appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate it. Sweet. Now, go do your boring important people stuff, I guess. I'll try not to interrupt. Cool. In a flash, she's gone, absorbed by the darkness. Finn, I have important matters to talk to you about. The door to Finn's room opens with a quiet creak before I can raise my fist to knock, and he greets me with a smile. He must have heard us. Afternoon, yes. He reaches for me, taking my hand and pressing a kiss to my knuckles, before tugging me inside. The door closes softly behind me with a click. I heard Raven lurking. She didn't bother you, did she? No. I shake my head as he laces our fingers together, his other hand coming to rest upon my waist. She was fine, if not a little strange. He tilts his head this way and that, feigning tossing around a deep thought in his mind before grinning. Get used to that. Strange is her specialty. We should discuss Fierro, discuss what Piper and I found down there. Yeah, before we get carried away. His expression neutralizes, posture becoming tense. Yes, we should. I have some concerns, as I'm sure you do. What could they want with his blood, Finn? I'm no expert, but if I'm not mistaken, vampire blood can be harmful to anything that isn't of your kind. He stares off into the distance for a moment. The look is pensive, as if he's considering his next words very carefully. What do you know of your initiation? Of what they put you through when you're chosen? I open my mouth to respond, but I find myself not having nothing to say. I remember little of what happened back when I was just a child, back when I first arrived at the academy. I remember waking up and feeling different, feeling strong. I frown, frustrated that I can't recall such a pivotal moment in my life, the moment that quite literally made me who I am. Did they inject me with vampire blood, if not diluted? I can feel him watching me carefully, and when I meet his gaze, his eyes are sad. I know little of what they did to make you the way you are, but I've been around long enough to hear the rumors. Nothing about what's happening here adds up, of that much I'm sure. Truly the only person who seems like they might have answers would be Harry, but it seems we can't even trust the man who swore to lead and protect your kind. If they're taking Fierro's blood, it's not with good intentions. Vampire blood can be incredibly dangerous if used with malicious intent. I figured. We need to get him out of there. I rack my brain for ideas, solutions, anything. The silence we stand in is heavy with our contemplation, and something hits me. When I first encountered the creature, it almost felt like I'd been enthralled. His eyes widened, his prosthetic flickering brightly. As if it had compelled you to just freeze, it manipulated you. Manipulated. Then something clicks. Ask about Fierro's ability, ask about the rumors, ask about his abilities. Obviously, because this is leading up to it. I'm pretty... Yes, they're taking his blood because that's his ability. Oh my god. Oh my god. See? I told you, human experimentation! Fiyero is an empath, right? He can both feel emotion and manipulate it. Yes, and he's incredibly powerful. Levi wouldn't have looked at him twice if he wasn't different. There are other vampires that have such abilities. Even I can influence people's thoughts, but not to the extent that he can. I think about the implications of that kind of power falling into the wrong hands, how they leave me feeling leaden in place, yeah. Can these abilities be transferred, say, through consuming his blood? Huh? I can't say I've ever heard of such a thing being done, but it's certainly not impossible. That creature, if it has been given his blood, why? What could that possibly achieve? I take a deep breath, trying to gather my thoughts. Already they're heavy in my mind at what this might mean. Something new, something powerful. Yes, ask about the rumors. The rumors you've heard about the initiation, can you tell me? Yes, that too, I'm interested in that. I'm pretty sure they gave us, like, diluted vampire blood. He grips the edge of his desk, the wood creaking beneath his fingertips. There are many things about the agency and its practices that I've heard over the centuries. None of them are particularly kind, but most sound too far-fetched to be plausible. My personal favorite is that hunters are grown on trees. Were you grown on a tree, Hana? No. I laugh, rolling my eyes. Point taken, not all of them are exactly sane rumors then, yeah. No, but with everything that's been going on around here lately, stranger things have happened. Right. I process everything as best as I can on such little sleep, yet again feeling out of my depth, but somehow closer to the truth. Our priority is getting Fiyero out of there, but we also have other concerns to attend to. I can have the clan work on an extraction plan now that we know exactly where he is. Leave that to us, at least that's one less thing for you to worry about, right? I know, yeah, true, but, like, what happens if you go down there and he's gone, you know? Though I could use your help enlisting mermen to assist, we could do with someone on your side. Consider it done, yeah. I look at him, and even through all this doubt and uncertainty, I feel safe. He reaches for me again, and I go willingly, winding my arms around his neck, smiling when he leans in to run his cold nose along my jaw. Aw. We're unstoppable, remember? I shiver against him, and he holds me that little bit tighter, strong arms encircling my waist. I remember. Kiss him! I should go. Yo! I need to kiss him. One for the road. Another one for the road. Yes, kiss him. You're amazing, Hana. Whatever that thing is, it has a world of pain coming its way. I sure hope you're right about that. I run a hand through his hair, letting the soft obsidian strands twine about my fingers. Oh no, stop that. I don't want that. Yeah. He hums, eyes fluttering closed. Then he kisses me. Yes. The cool press of his lips against my own is the only reassurance I'll ever need. The feel of his body is so strong against mine, all I'll ever want. He gently walks me backwards until I'm crowded against the door! Hey! And I smile against his lips as his hands begin to wander. Okay. He pulls me back to look at me with a sharp inhale, eyes dark, lips parted. If you have somewhere to be, I suggest you leave now, before I can't find the strength to tear myself away. As much as I'd love to forget my duties and take him up on that. I know! Yes, work, right. He steps away, straightening his clothing with a sly smile. Go. I've been around long enough. It's not like I'm going anywhere. Yes. I gather my wits, my heart once again slowing to its resting pace. Yes, I need to go see Ezra about our demon friends. Yeah. Finn reaches out to adjust my rumpled shirt, surveying me with a satisfied nod. A perfect way to spend your day, I'm sure. Say hello to him for me, won't you? I will. He opens the door for me, leaning against the frame as I step out into the cold hallway. Stay safe, Hana. I'll be thinking of you as always. Oh, same. He's so romantic. He's so cute. The shop is busy when I arrive, but Ezra does an excellent job of remaining professional when he spots me. I linger in the corner while he rings up his final customers, surveying the volumes upon volumes of magical literature he has on display. The sleepy white cat from before is curled up on the countertop, and she lazily raises her head when I approach as the bell signals that the final customer has left. Her eyes glow a vivid aquamarine, and she's certainly unlike any feline I've seen before. Her name is Coco. Aw. He scratches her chin and she purrs her thanks before gracefully jumping down, heading for the back room with a swish of her tail. She's got a bit of an attitude problem. I think I've spoiled her a little too much. Aw, it's okay. How long have you had her? His mouth twists to the side while he thinks. She followed me home one night when I was a child, maybe 10, 11 years ago? Wow. She's not exactly a normal cat, but I've never really bothered to find out what she might be or where she's from. She's just Coco. Will value her privacy. Anyway, what can I do for you? Is it about the tall, blonde, utterly terrifying woman you sent my way at stupid o'clock last night? Sorry. I grimaced, taking a deep breath. My mind is once again overflowing with revelations, new information I've barely had time to process. Sorry by the way, and also, I had a chat with our demon friends. I study his expression carefully, but I see nothing to indicate that he has any idea what I'm about to say. And how adept are you at closing hell portals? What? Yeah, I almost can't help but laugh at the way his eyes widen. Then a flicker of realization, his shoulders sinking under the weight of it. Oh no, I can't believe I didn't think to check. I've been so caught up with everything else that I just... Shit. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, it's okay, it's okay. I believe in you. No, it's fine. It's fine, Ezra, baby. Honey, sweetie, darling. I believe in you. He's obviously distressed that such a thing could fly under his radar, and I gather that Ezra has quickly put the puzzle pieces together. Ezra isn't stupid. He knows what this means, what the tear between realms has brought upon this town. We can and we will fix this. There must be a spell, a ritual? He clears his throat, snapping himself out from his daze. Yes, I mean, there will be, not that I'm familiar. It will require a great deal of research, and I doubt I'll be able to perform such a thing alone. August? Yeah. He smiles, nods. August is very powerful, as I'm sure you can already tell. So, with their help, hopefully it's something we can achieve. I don't doubt either of you for a second. I look at him as he processes all of this, his fingers visibly twitching at his side, eyes flicking to the endless rows of books that line his walls. Ezra, I know you can do this. Please don't worry. Yeah. He offers me a smile, but it's a sorry thing, timid almost. Yes, well, I'm glad that you have some faith in me at least. I'm just cross with myself. I was the first person Omen found when he arrived. I should have known. I tended to his wounds, saw the markings. I should have asked, checked. Markings? I think back to the odd way that Omen rubbed his neck, covered it. Demons from other realms often have a sigil or a rune that grants them access to their home, so it would make sense for him to have one, I suppose. But healed, what extent did Omen go to? You should ask Omen. It isn't my place. Okay. Of course, but I think you can give yourself a pass on this one. It isn't exactly common to have a Prince of Hell stumble into your shop, is it? I cross the room and take his hand, the urge to comfort him overwhelming. I tip my chin to catch his gaze, coaxing a small smile. You're just saying that. No. Oh, and why would I do such a thing? Kiss him, I believe in you. Obviously, we're gonna go around and kiss all our hubbies. Yes. Does it make sense that I kiss Finn and not Ezra? I watched the gentle bob of his throat as he swallowed, his lips parted, eyes focused on me, only me. Then he captures my lips with his own, a kiss that assists in answering my own question. That I'd do anything for him, anything to make him happy. I'd risk it all. His hair is soft when it curls about my fingertips, his skin warm as my thumb brushes over a flushed, freckled cheekbone. Reluctantly, I pull away, resting our foreheads together, looking him in his pretty eyes. Pretty eyes, yes. Then, as honest as I could ever be, I would never lie to you, right? You're brilliant and smart and capable. Now you're actively trying to deepen my blush, aren't you? Well, I can't say that it's a rather really cute thing to do. I place another quick kiss on his lips before I move away, but only a little. No, I just know you can do it. I'm not just saying it, I promise, yeah. With a theatrical sigh, Ezra concedes. Very well, I believe you, I suppose. Now, do you want to tell August, or shall I? The very loud burst of laughter tells me I might be the one tasked with such a pleasant conversation. Excellent. Alrighty then, back to August, I suppose. Oh no, we go to Piper. Yeah, we gotta tell her about Finn's plan. Piper opens the door with a smile as I advance to the next stop on my tour. Afternoon. Afternoon. Just gonna stand there or what? Okay. I roll my eyes, kicking off my boots as I enter. So we take a seat upon the sofa. Piper tucking her feet beneath her, relaxed in her surroundings. I had an eventful evening. She sits a little straighter, eyebrows quirked in interest. Oh yeah? Yes, yes, with your favorite cultist actually. The noise that she makes is interesting. Ugh, her, how awful of you, my sympathies. How awful for you, my sympathies. Rather you than me though, I suppose. What gives? Well, oh, you know, the usual. Just her making friends with the thing terrorizing us. Normal cultist stuff. She growls, low and deep behind clenched teeth. I wish I could say I'm surprised. Was it at least a productive conversation? Yes, it was. Yes, it helped. Which, better than nothing, right? Better than nothing. So I take a deep breath, considering my next words carefully. We should talk about our Aya, about what we found down there. Her shoulders slump, and she averts her gaze, her eyes sad. Yes, I haven't stopped thinking about it. I haven't stopped thinking about it all. Fierro, Aya, everything. How can we work for people who do that, who forge records, who imprison their own for nothing? Aya is innocent, that much I know, and Azazel, he's down there because he got attacked? It continues to make no fucking sense, I know. I agree with her, but we have little time for frustration. We have to begin acting now. The clan are preparing to get Fierro out of the dungeons. We can't leave him in there. And not now that we know what they're doing. Okay. Finn is wondering if you mind assisting them. Of course I will. Yeah, anything to stick it to those arsehole enforcers. Yes, mention Fierro's blood, leave it. She needs to know. I don't think we should keep things from, the people who are trying to find the truth, It wouldn't make sense. No. I feel a little stupid for having such an idea, but after what Finn said about vampire blood, I can't get it off my mind. When I encountered the creature, it was almost as if it had enthralled me, like it sapped away all of my free will. Piper frowns, shifting a little closer, waiting for me to continue. What if they're taking Fierro's blood to give to this creature? To make it stronger, better. Harder, better, faster, stronger. She takes a while to respond. If they are, why? Why would they need to mess around with the things we're supposed to be killing? Our purpose is to rid this planet of those things, not to make them worse. She's right, it makes no sense. We need to figure out their endgame and fast. I pause, watching her carefully. She looks so tired, defeated. How are you doing, after all of this? She huffs a quiet little laugh, shrugging. I don't really know. Before all of this, I was just angry. Angry that I got punished for caring too much, which isn't something I ever really did before. Now I just feel dumb. Now I just feel numb. Okay. It's going to be okay, Piper. It has to be. Right you are. How could it possibly get any fucking worse? Trust me, it'll get worse. I grimace and Piper laughs. It always does. Don't say that. Now we're really fucked. With a groan, I reluctantly tear myself from the comfort of her sofa. The mere thought of dragging myself across the street to the wolf makes me want to weep, but I should check in with August, I suppose. I need to go and visit our dear enforcer. Have fun with that, I suppose. I know, thanks. She crinkles her nose in disgust, and I can't help but laugh at the expression. Thanks a bunch, I know. I head for the door, turning to look at her one last time when she yells. What? Wouldn't wanna be ya? Okay, fine. I know. Okay, in the aftermath of what we learned, August and Ezra were quick to action, gathering supplies and the instruments required to perform a spell or ritual. That was the first day. Oh wow, okay. Then time stretched on. 1 day, 2 days, 4, a week. Knowing that everything was leading up to this moment and that it might not even work was stressful to say the least. I know. What if they couldn't eat? What if they couldn't close it? What if the creature is still that strong without this unseen force feeding it? Those worries lingered, but I found ways to distract myself. I hunted nightly, spent time training with Piper, studying with August. There was also Finn and Ezra. Yes, stolen moments with them amongst all the chaos, moments that only solidified my feelings for both of them. Then a knock at my door one night. The news I'd been waiting for. So how did it go? I step outside just in time to watch the sunset over the horizon. The sky darkens and the clouds are tipped with orange, then purple, until all that hangs over me is endless black. Somehow I feel lighter than ever as I head for the forest, a funny kind of hope settling in my gut. Ezra and August are strong alone, but together, I think back to the moment in Ezra's shop. The reconciliation between the two, the shift in how they hold themselves, a weight finally released. Together, I have no doubt that they're unstoppable. There's only one way to find out. Okay, so here we go. Omen and Elaine had entered our realm right on the edge of town, just as the cobblestone fade into dirt. Okay, there we go. I suck at reading. The trees are denser here, everything a little less ominous. Okay, guys, I find Ezra and August exactly where they said they would be, both of them looking a little pensive. Hana, right on time. I know you don't suffer tardiness. Very good. Now, shall we just get on with it, I suppose? Yeah, I guess. Ezra has already laid out his supplies, a neat little pile of strange things you could only ever find in a witch's shop. There's also a symbol drawn on the forest floor that looks startlingly similar to a pentagram, with a few minor changes. Ezra catches me looking and offers me a shrug, as if saying, of course, us closing a portal to one of the many hells would require such a thing. Just another day in Lunaris. Yep, just typical day. Let's just get this over with. He pulls a vial from his belt, the liquid dark and viscous. From my experience, I recognize it as demon blood. Okay. Omen gave it willingly. I didn't stab him or anything. I know you wouldn't. I think we know that, Ezra. I know. Just checking. He pours the blood upon the ground at their feet, the faintest shimmer shining in the grass when it makes contact. They join hands and begin chanting. I do not know demon, you know. Nice mina ione. K mina am says. Oh wow. Oh jeez. The shimmer grows in luminosity. It pulses brighter still until it's almost blinding. I step back, watching as their grip on one another tightens, their eyes aglow, legs shaking. Ezra almost falters, but August holds him steady, gives him strength. Kesa sea nuchisas. Oh, yesa yis koka. Yeah. The ground beneath our feet rumbles. It stutters and shakes from the incantation, a vibration I feel deep in my bones. Yaza yes koka. I don't know. Then, stillness, silence. Did it work? Slowly they release one another, exchanging appraising glances at their current state. There is some haggard breathing, but decidedly fine. They turn their attention back to the tear. Or former tear. It worked! Is it done? Did it work? Perhaps the question was too soon. It tumbles out before I can stop it, and it echoes loudly. Yet if seeing that hazy portal wink out was anything to go by, I damn well better ask, yeah. I think it did. The energy still lingers, but I no longer feel anything pulling at me. Not like I did when we first arrived. Okay. The only way to know for sure is to get Omen or Elaine to check for us. Ezra is interrupted by a chorus of yelling, screaming. What? As if all at once the air is kicked from our lungs. Whatever brief moment of relief we had was extinguished at the sound. It's coming from town. We need to... I'll clean up. Go. I've got this. Okay. We both look at them, hesitant, but time is of the essence, and we know we have no choice. Stay safe. Head straight home as soon as you're done. You're exhausted. You've exhausted yourself enough for one evening. I will. Okay. Oh my god. What's happening? What's happening? The town is in chaos. There's blood on the streets of its owner. There's blood on the streets of its owner. I'm not entirely sure, but... I know exactly what it is the second I see Piper rushing towards us, daggers drawn. Her aura thrums with adrenaline and it bleeds into mine at her approach. Oh my god. Report. It's that thing. I saw it with my own eyes. Ugly motherfucker, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Where is it now? I don't know. It was heading straight for headquarters. Had this mad look, like it couldn't see anything else. The witches scared it off, distracted it. It scurried into the forest, but I couldn't catch it. Good. No one should face it alone. Hana is right. We cannot risk losing anyone else. But isn't Ezra still in the forest, though? Especially not you two. Girl, we have to end this. Are you ready? Are we ready? We have to end this. We gotta do this. We got to. Oh my god, this is so intense. We have to end this. I look around and see the far edge there. I look around to see... Yeah, stop it. This is getting intense. I look around and see the fear etched across everyone's faces. A creature hasn't made it this far into town in years, not a hostile one anyway. They must be terrified. Yeah, I would be too. We have to do something to show them that we have this under control, no matter the circumstance. We need to go and find it and kill it. This ends now. Yeah. Damn right we do. I'll stay here. They're afraid. This is their nightmare. I can at least try to make sure they feel safe. I look off into the distance, the forest calling to me. The tips of my fingers tingle. Every nerve ending set alight as my adrenaline spikes. Well, I'm the thing the monsters have nightmares about. Let's finish this. Let's go. Oh my god. We head towards the forest, leaving the town in chaos behind us. I stop dead in my tracks as the houses fade out, something telling me to pause, to think. August, you should stay with Piper, just in case I pause, taking a breath. I can handle this. Are you sure? Hunter Lee, I don't doubt that, but I'd hate to leave you alone. I smile at them, and they throw me an incredulous look. I won't be alone. They frown, their eyes flicking towards the tree line, and when they relax, I suspect they see exactly what I see. Very well, I'll fall back. Keep the townsfolk safe, yeah. They reach out and place their hand upon my forearm, squeezing gently. Their eyes are sad but earnest, proud. Show it no mercy, just as it's shown none to us, yes. I nod, knowing I won't let them down. Any of them, yeah. Yes, General. Yes, my General. Reluctantly, they turn on their heel, immediately barking orders at a group of enforcers that scurry towards them. I feel them before I see them, our connection growing stronger by the day. When I turn, they're both standing right before, beautiful smiles upon their faces. Ah, yay, my babes! I knew it, yes. We thought you might like to go on a date? Don't have anything better to do you? Nah. I roll my eyes at Finn, and as does Ezra, but the smiles we cannot stifle says it all. Truly a beautiful evening for a romantic stroll, wouldn't you say? This thing doesn't stand a chance, not against us. Ready to finish this, Hana? Yes. Let's go kick this creature back to whatever hell it dared to crawl from. Yes. Let's go. It doesn't take us long to find the creature's obvious path of destruction. Blood and ichor cover the ground, its own, I assume. There's a path of trees that have been felled, jagged claw marks covering the splintered bark. I close my eyes, but Finn snaps me from my concentration when he steps in front of me. What? Wait, I need to... He looks at Ezra, who steps forward and places his hand upon his prosthetic, the etchings flickering gently. Finn, it's okay. If this gets bad, I might change. Oh, I would hope you'd never have to see me like that. I know I'm already, well, a monster. No! I just hope you don't think any less of me when you see what I really am. I look to Ezra, who watches the vampire with such a gentle fondness that I can't even ever imagine being scared of them. Yeah, no worries, you're no monster. How in control are you? No, you're no monster, Finn! Finn! No, you're my bae. For him to think I could ever be repulsed by him is madness. I've seen many creatures in my time, many horrors, but Finn could never be one of them. I could never see him as anything less than the man I've come to love, feel for. Oh, feels, just the feels. I take his face in my hand, stroking my thumbs over the knife edge of his cheekbones, and I smile. You're not a monster to me, to us. You forget, I've seen you at your worst, and yet I love you still. Aw, you see? Same. He laughs, and when he next speaks, his voice is whiskey smooth and addictive. Silly of me to think either of you could ever be fazed by anything, I suppose. Right, it is silly of you. He presses a kiss to each of my palms before I withdraw my touch. All I see when I look at both of you is someone who I care about, I pause, the words feeling heavy upon my tongue. Before I can continue, there's a sorrowful groan that echoes from deep within the forest. It lumbers into the clearing, too close to the town for comfort, too alert and entirely focused on me. Me! Only me! Oh no! Finn grabs my arm, pressing his lips to my ear, tugging Ezra behind him. We'll keep its attention. You attack. Don't let it thrall you. It straightens up, taller than I remember, but still no taller than me. What if it thralls you? Finn smiles, clenching his fists. What? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Okay. I watch him transform before me, shifting into something not human. Clearly not. The once gentle gold of his eyes is swallowed by a fathomless black, dark fissures appearing on the surface of his milky skin. His prosthetic glows so brightly that I'm blinded, and when I regain my focus, it too has changed, shifted just like its master. A weapon. Nice. When he next speaks, his voice is different, deeper, every syllable shaking. It can try. Nice. Ezra's eyes widen as he takes in the sight of the beast, and he swallows thickly when he looks at me, unfazed by Finn's shift. Okay. Then, if I thought Ezra was magical before, well... The whites of his eyes are swallowed by the brightest, most vivid emerald. Fissures of light appears upon the surface of his skin like veins, curling around his fingertips. The air practically hums around him, singing under his command, the thick scent of petrichor permeating my senses. Hey, everybody gets a cool transformation, and I don't! It's enchanting. He's enchanting. His magic lives and breathes, and in this moment I'm captivated. Go. Okay. I propel myself forward, unafraid, kicking up dirt. I throw back my fist, landing the first hit with a satisfying smack. The impact reverberates through my knuckles, and I reach for my weapon as the creature gathers itself. The three of us fall into an easy routine, as if we've been doing this together forever. Finn and Ezra keep me alert, keep it distracted, and I lay into it with every ounce of unbidden power that surges through my body. We violently clash, nothing but a flurry of frenzied movements and strikes. I swing hard at the beast, erring to stick to my typical strategy of attack, not letting the furious tempo of this battle overtake my senses. However, there is a method to this madness, and its poise and posture remains, something more than brute strength keeping it steady. When finally one of the attacks connect, the creature lets out a horrific scream, something that could bloody my ears, and it near sends me to my knees. I dial back to catch myself, vision blurring. Finn is fast, more quick and nimble than anything I've ever seen, but even he is thrown to the ground beside me. He skids to a stop as he hits the trunk of a tree already splintered by the creature's hand. Ezra calls out to me, coaxing me back to the fight as he keeps it at bay, an indecipherable display of power as vines break free from the earth and curl around its feet. It's strong, stronger than we anticipated, but more than that, despite its haggard appearance, it fights like I do. I'm telling you! Calculated, precise, calm in a way no creature could be or ever has been. It fights like a hunter. Finn pulls himself to his feet with a growl, teeth bared and eyes wild. I bring my hand to my face as Ezra chants an incantation in a foreign tongue, seeing crimson leaking between my fingers, staining my skin. Finn calls to me, parrying its heavy attacks with relative ease, giving it as good as it gets, but still struggling. I find myself frozen, my breathing heavy, but everything had been laid out before me, and I curse my stupidity for not seeing it sooner. As if the creature has read my thoughts, as if it knows that I figured it out, it gives something of a smile with that grotesque maw. It lunges and pushes Finn aside with a startling display of strength, like a mere afterthought, and it heads for me, transfixed. Ezra rushes to his side, still chanting, but the creature shakes off his spells as if they were a gentle rain. Its eyes are constant on my form, long, heavy strides gaining quick momentum in my direction. Oh shit! I cannot move. I cannot think. It's all a haze now. The only coherent thought I have is, if I'm going to die here, all I can hope is that they both make it out. It draws back its gnarled arms, and I brace for impact. It's too soon for me to steel myself against the assault, and I feel my body shocked with pain. Ow! Oh my god! It's Finn! I hear a growl, something primal, something not human, and I see Finn gnashing his teeth, ready to descend. He looks otherworldly, blinding, every inch of his body screaming power, as if he's commanding the very elements everything around us illuminates, as bright as the moon that hangs up high in the sky above us, brighter. Ouch. Oh, and there's Ezra! We get Ezra too! Yes! Look at my mans go! Then Ezra steps forward, a whisper, something gentle and harmonious, yet not quite of this world. His lips move at a frantic pace, the air around him aglow in a flurry of magic. He is commanding nature, everything around him at his mercy. The display distracts it, like a moth to a deadly flame, and the creature turns to face Finn and Ezra with a sorrowful groan. In that moment, there's clarity in me, my body finally recalling every ounce of training I've had throughout my life, the instinct to survive saturating every nerve. I reach for my weapon despite the numbness in my fingers. I feel stronger, movements more certain, and as I see Finn take a hit to the chest, I strike with everything I have. I drive my weapon into the back of its neck with a guttural scream. It swats at me blindly like a wild animal, trying to shake me off. I stumble feverishly in random directions, but considerably more sluggish than before. Again, it attempts to remove the thing that will help it meet its maker, but I relent. I hold on, plunging it deeper until I can hear the sickening crack of the bone. The creature's voice is smaller now, shaking and shaking, as if the life from it is finally torn asunder. It halts in its movements until the thing falls to its knees and pounds the dusty earth. I wait and wait until I'm certain it is no longer. Finally, there's a resounding silence and I catch my breath. Try to, anyway. I look for both of them in the aftermath, and I watch as Ezra guides Finn to his feet, blood running from his nose and towards the hollow of his throat. He swipes at his face with a clawed hand, licking the blood clean. His eyes remain fixed upon his blackened palm as he sucks the red from his fangs with a swipe of his tongue. Ezra talks quick and quiet in his ear, his brow drawn, and I gather that he's trying to soothe him. That's when I feel it, warm and wet and running down my ribs. Blood. I almost don't feel the pain through my fervorous adrenaline, but when Finn turns and fixes me with wild eyes, I quickly take stock of my injuries. Oh god, Finnegan, stay with me. Oh, hi! His teeth are bared in something other than that familiar handsome grin, and for the very first time, my instincts tell me not to trust him. To fear him. But it's still Finn. It's still the man that I've come to adore, and Ezra stands firm by his side, holding him, unafraid. I slowly press my hands over the worst wound, the one at my side. I feel the initial rush of blood, slippery against my palm as I apply pressure, Finn's nostrils flaring. Finn, it's okay. It's fine. His gaze meets my own, and it's not the warm, gentle gold I'm used to, but something fathomless and dark. He takes a step towards me, and my body is screaming at me to protect myself, to fight. He flexes his fingers, his movements stuttering, and then he stops. Hana, you're hurt. I am. Ezra is at my side in a flash, his hands pressed over the wound. I shake him off, convinced it's just a scratch, my eyes still on Finn, his posture remaining tense. He closes his eyes tight, his hands balled into fists at his side. He doesn't want to hurt me. He's scared he's going to hurt me. Slowly, I take another step towards him. I might be stubborn, but he wouldn't hurt me, and I know it. As I draw nearer, he tenses further, turning his face away from me like he's ashamed. Finn, please, just look at me. He shakes his head. I don't want to hurt you. I'd never forgive myself. I know it in my heart that he won't, that he will not. Let us help you. We're here. We're not going anywhere. Another step and I take stock of his own injuries, of the claw marks that cuts through his chest. It's angry, deep, and apparently not healing as quickly as it should. You're hurt. He scoffs, an incredulous noise, his gaze still squeezed shut. Says you. I know. I think how overwhelming the smell of my blood must be for him, for it still seeps through my fingertips, dizziness taking hold. I reach out with the hand that isn't stained crimson and cup it to his face, feeling that familiar cold. He leans into it, a quiet, ragged purr rumbling deep in his chest as he slowly opens his eyes. There he is. Yeah, the darkness is gone, the fissures of black that had trailed his cheeks too, and now all I see is gold. Bright, beautiful Finn. I smile, letting out a quiet laugh, a sound of disbelief when I realize that we did it. You should let Ezra take a look at that. It's... yeah. Bye! We did it! It's dead! It's over! I'm gonna go now. Hana? Hana, yes. Peace out, guys. We did it. Yeah, no. Stay with us. Then, bye. Everything goes black. End of chapter 6! I knew it! Yes, we were like, okay, we're peacing out here because I'm losing blood. Bye now. See you next time. BRB. There we go! Chapter 6! Wow! Damn, so did we really actually kill the monster? Really? We did it? Like, what? Okay. That was a very climactic chapter, but of course, another sort of cliffhangy sort of moment where we pass out from our wounds, and I'm pretty sure we'll make it fine. We're okay. Anyways, regardless, I know for a fact that if you guys have been following their Tumblr page or the Itch.io page or like any other of their social media stuff about this game, then you would know that the developers have planned to have at least around, I think, 10 chapters for this game, so we are not out of the woods literally just yet. So I am super excited to see where the story will go. Like, the initial problem of like this monster going around killing people is done, is gone, I guess. But now we still have the shady business that is of the enforcers and like what's going on there. So we still need to get to the bottom of that. We still need to know, you know, what it is that they were doing in terms of this whole, like, you know, how are they dealing with this whole, like, you know, mass surge of, like, creatures invading the town, and how they're dealing with it, and, like, you know, why were they arresting these hunters with no good reasons, and, you know, why are they still holding a vampire with the empath ability and taking his blood. Like, we still got those to sort out, and yeah, to find out the mysteries of. So the monster is dead, but we still have much to solve, much secrets to uncover still. So tune in next time, you guys. Can't wait for chapter 7. So again, thank you so much for joining me in this Let's Play. But for now, bye!